We're diving into it. It's another Drip Friday. We're also going to look into some things that are happening as we speak live with the Fed. Let's dive into today's show. Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. My name is Matt, and on the other end over there is Potter.
Oh, hey. Sorry, I was looking at another screen.
If you're new to this channel, we're all about building financial power, and we're talking about the Fed here. Potter's literally watching it as we speak, and some announcements and whatnot happening. So, you got anything before we roll into it, or what?
No, let's just get to it.
So I paused it. So,
okay.
There you go.
Can you make it as big as, or will that take over your whole screen if you do that?
Okay. There you go.
Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve.
And so the reason that this is like so important, we have on captions so people can read, is that it's just going to signal a flag to everyone for the next like month or two. We have another big announcement coming up from them in 2 weeks regarding inflation, but this one, it's going to tell us how people are going to react. I'm going to take a look at the reaction of the markets in real time. So he's meeting at this place called Black Hole. Yeah. And so right now, the reason normally what the analysts are saying are, crypto and all these crypto assets, they're risk assets. Yeah. But right now they're running in alignment with Fed announcements. That's just the reality of the situation. So these kind of announcements, if they announce anything that's hella bearish, or I think they call it hawkish, where he says, oh, we're going to keep raising yada yada, what we've seen is that truly impacts the price of Bitcoin, right? And we know that if Bitcoin's affected, the other crypto markets are affected.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The labor market is particularly strong, but it is clearly out of balance.
Okay.
Demand for workers substantially exceeding the supply.
Can you turn it up a little bit, I think?
You won't be able to hear it, but they can hear it.
High inflation
okay.
Continue to spread through the economy. While the lower inflation readings for July.
What do you think about this?
I have zero knowledge at all. I mean, yeah. I got nothing.
Did you know how tied this was to the crypto market?
No.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say I'm sure I'm not the only one in that camp. No, I had no clue.
Right. So based on how much the market says we're going to have intervention, we're going to do things, we're going to raise rates, it causes uncertainty for investors. Again, folks, this is not, it's not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. This is only stuff based off of the open source information I've gotten. But when the Fed starts to intervene, historically, data has shown that markets, fluctuate. High risk assets like crypto suffer greatly. So right now, Bitcoin is trying to find a bottom, and a lot of people are saying 16, some people are saying 14, and they're looking at an announcement like this today to decide where is that going to go. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. I mean, I think it is known that, I know at least that, if Bitcoin drops, the rest of the market drops. When the US dollar drops, it tends to affect a lot of the world, so that makes sense from a macroeconomic scale. Yeah.
So it looks like,
where's Bitcoin at right now? I don't even know.
It's at 21,670.
That's what I last understood. Okay.
And if I'm looking at it, it's off of its highs for the day. And it's right now it's down. It looks like a bad candle. But people are this is where people try to take advantage, of things. But You know,
What do you mean?
I'm not
What do you mean buying it up at the bottom?
selling and trying to manipulate on fear.
Oh, okay,
Right?
Sure.
You know, people are like, "Oh, is this still in the news?" There was no news. This wasn't even a big thing. This like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right. So I think some people could manipulate it. So I don't think he's saying anything that like we haven't heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we can go back to the drip stuff. It doesn't look like. It does look like Bitcoin is going down,
Mm-hmm.
and so that ties us back to the whole Drip Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you have these kinds of delays, we have a launch date now,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we also have entropy, happening.
A launch date for
Animal Farm.
Got it. Wait, we have a launch date or a date that he's going to announce when it's going to launch?
Oh, that's a good point. I apologize. Yeah. Yes, we have a launch date. We have an announcement next Tuesday.
We have a date for the announcement of the launch date.
Yes.
Yes.
But what happened was during an AMA with an influencer called Mike the Investor. Are we published, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. He said he revealed he let the cat out of the bag. We discussed that a little bit yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. It's a bad thing. I can't tell how to look at it. It seems like the garden seems to be doing okay.
And he let the cat out of the bag.
Doesn't seem to be impacted by it. I'm sorry.
He let the cat out of the bag, meaning he said the first week of October, right?
Correct. Yeah. And that I don't know what kind of people we have in the DeFi market. Do they buy, on the rumor? Do they sell on the news? Is it that orchestrated? I think the data out there is too new to tell.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine you have a mix of quite a bit, but what's the majority? Good question.
Right.
Good question.
So, some other things are happening in DeFi space as well. Oh, hold on. I created cards for this. Ta-da!
Very nice.
Well, it would have been very nice if I'd said that before we went literally through all the announcements. But I'm practicing.
It's all good. It's all good.
And this week in Animal Farm, talking about the garden has been doing. It's been up and down, and I still really feel that based on the numbers, it looks like that the garden controls the drip price on BS on Binance Smart Chain. It just looks like whenever that starts selling crazy, the price goes down. I could be wrong though. I can't tell on that one, but that's what it looks like. If I take data that's not necessarily smart data and put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, check this out. Hey, this is that movie Tenet.
Good call.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I like it. Yeah, there's been quite a few announcements. I was telling Potter yesterday, and I don't say this in a pessimistic way, but I've noticed all the way through, and comment down below if you agree with this, if you've seen this, or if you think I'm total crap. I don't mean it from a bad way, but on pretty much any drip YouTube channel, on any drip videos or whatever, I've noticed just in the comment sections, it feels like wishful thinking type comments. I don't see too many people I see a bunch of drip is the best ecosystem ever. Drip is to the moon. Drip is the best. And I agree. It's great without a doubt. I'm not crapping on it, but I never see one comment saying I'm down with drip. Heck yeah. Animal Farm, cool stuff. But I'm going to wait and see what happens.
Right.
I know that there are people out there. I just don't see them in the comment section. And maybe these people are just not commenting, or maybe they're not on YouTube much. But I just don't feel like I see a lot of people out there that approach it just very okay, let's look at this objectively. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it looks like the contract looks pretty good. Looks like it's operating well, based on the actions of what's happened in the ecosystem of drip and animal farm and all that. I'm a little wary. I'm optimistic, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a weird, like, pessimistic person compared to everybody else, but it's just strange that not one comment. It's just strange. It's just really, really, really strange.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. Like, give me something. But here's the thing about the person that Forex was talking to yesterday, right? That guy he's a guy who left his job in crypto to start doing that full time, right? And he's built a following. Unfortunately, one of the things he built his name on was Voyager.
What the heck is that?
Right? Voyager is like that thing that collapsed. It was another one of those, hey guys, you can log in, but you can't get your stuff. And we're bankrupt. And they just got approved today for corporate bonuses for their executives.
Jeez.
Maybe they're going to say, hey, if you cooperate, we'll pay you more money to tell us how you screwed people out of money. But the one thing about his name's Mike the Investor, and he's a guy I listened to religiously, although I didn't follow him on any of his plays. I just liked the way that I take that back. BitTorrent, that's how I learned about the BitTorrent token. And I think that he's so ahead of his time. Mike the Investor is ahead of his time, in my opinion, for the BitTorrent token. However, as I became to mature more in my TA, I started noticing that he was talking about the chart a lot, which goes to your point, right? Comments about talking about price, to the moon.
Yeah.
But not talking about, hey, what's the structure, right? Yeah. What works? What is the company doing? Who are they? Because if he had done that with Voyager, he would have told people to get out way before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm concerned about rah when it comes to an influencer like that, bringing in solid investors, because those investors don't look at the fundamentals. They look at, price.
Yep.
And that's not how you judge something.
Yep. So you hit it on the head. And again, I do not believe that everyone out there has blinders on. They're 18 years old and they're just like, I want to get rich. That's not everyone. I know that. But just the reflection of it in the comment section, it just feels like that. And I just wish that I wish I saw more of those objective questions. And, I've definitely seen some other creators asking those objective questions and, presenting information that's not all rah-rah. And, again, I'm asking you, the viewer, have you seen that? Have you noticed that? Has that run through your head? Like, is that total crap? It's just been an ongoing thing that I've noticed. And it's been, I guess I look at it and I can't help but do a comparison of like, what do people do with other markets? Let's say it's real estate. Let's say it's stocks. Let's say it's whatever. An intelligent investor doesn't give a crap about the community or the rah-rah or the whatever. They're looking at, like you said, the fundamentals of, is this worth my effort? Is this worth my money?
Right.
Am I going to make money on? So,
right. They're looking at, is crime getting worse in the area? Are people moving out of the area versus in the area? Yeah, they're doing the hard stuff, not going, look at those prices.
Exactly.
This house just sold for this. Exactly. This house just sold for that. That's more of a marketer.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what kind of makes you feel uneasy about it?
I mean, not uneasy about the project itself.
The spirit of what I'm saying is, you're not like, hey, there's nothing there.
Yeah, no, and I don't feel that. I guess it feels really young, and I'm not even talking about the people investing in it. I guess when you look at more established markets or the S&P 500 or stocks or whatnot, and you look, I don't know, like, again, this is a tough comparison, but I'm going to go extremes. Warren Buffett, let's just say he was into crypto. He's like very against crypto.
Yep.
But let's just say he was into it in any way. He wouldn't give a crap about, the community, the TG, and like, does it have this game attached to it or whatever? He would be looking at, what has it done in the past and how does the contract work and all that. And it's just to see sound investment decisions to me is maturity in the platform. There are, I mean,
one of the hardest parts about, when the whole tech thing started was the internet, was there weren't people there who were wise enough in the protocols to understand it, to explain it to people.
True.
That's why people like Steve Jobs said, the internet will never work, right? I remember reading that in Fortune magazine when I was waiting for a doctor's appointment. I was like, and at the time I was working for AOL. So I was like, that guy's an idiot. Like, there goes my respect for him.
Right.
But he turned on it. So I think a lot of that is kind of the same in the market where people go, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Because that's all they can say.
Yeah.
If I tell them, well, like I was looking at the code today and I saw on the animal farm and I found it peculiar the way in which some of the transactions were being managed in the Redux tool store. It was more confusing than understanding, and it explained to me why the user interface or UI wasn't working. Like, is Warren Buffett going to do that? No.
Right.
He's going to go. He's going to look into the fundamentals of the people.
Right.
The technology.
Yeah.
So I think that those people, maybe there's a churn of them, because I used to share the images of the people dancing, and when things were pumping when I first got in, because it was all exciting.
Of course.
So maybe it's, and this is a guess, maybe it's the churn of new people who come in and go,
yeah,
but it's still, I don't think it's all that. I think we both see not legends, but people who are in it a long time, not putting down that kind of behavior, not endorsing the idea of, hey, let's talk about the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Because I think if you look at the core fundamentals of what Forex is doing, it's smart, right? If you look at the way that we've been covering it, the numbers, like we came out week 1, saying, hey, it's working. Well, everybody was like, sell, Forex is crook.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, well, I appreciate, but over here it's working, and it's still working. If there were more people talking about that component versus worrying about, oh boy, he didn't give an exact date. Oh, I don't know. Is it going to happen again? Is he going to make it? Not about all the technology in place that is supposed to support the platform. There's nobody talking about it because there's not enough people to talk about it, because the majority of your influencers are not developers.
Yeah. And it's, maybe it simply is that. Maybe it hasn't been, enough time for more experienced, more seasoned investors in different markets that have gone into drip. Maybe it's just something I personally haven't seen, and it's not really a deficit at all. And, if you hear that a wise investor got into something, that I whether you want it to or not, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it does, I think, bring a little bit more credibility to whatever it is, a stock, whatever market we're talking about. And so maybe that's where that thought is being born for me is I want to see objective people looking at this whole ecosystem being like, yeah, this is a sound investment, not because I'm basing my decisions on what they say, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there should at least be some kind of balance.
Yes.
It's like this. It's raw. And hey guys, if you take a look at the price, and hey guys, if you take a look at X person's track record, if you take a look at the history of this chart, there is nobody talking about the technical parts, but it's because it's hard.
It very
look how much stuff people were saying up to the final day of the 365 of drip, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, well, after the 365th day, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And that even caused me not to go in harder because not even the architect could tell me whether this event was going to happen or not.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, so that tells you that if the architect can't talk about it, then it's hard. But then you go to a person like Bank Teller, right? And he is highly technical.
Yep.
And he does talk about stuff. And then it's kind of like cringe, because generally when I would talk as a consultant to devs, when I heard them talking to leadership, the leadership was like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be an interpreter. You're my interpreter.
Yeah, it's true. That's the overarching thought in my head here lately, and I guess since I've gotten into the project. But you're right. I think it's still really new. It's still just over a year old. So there has to be time for it to grow, and I'll take whatever I can get with it. I think it's a good project. But if you're feeling squirrely every Thursday, Friday, we're putting a show out here talking about the wonderful, trippy world of DeFi and our documenting our processes. Potter, you got anything in closing before we hop out of here?
Yeah, sorry about the Tenet version of the show today.
Don't apologize.
Do you know what Tenet is?
Wasn't it a movie, or you mean the definition?
The movie.
I never saw it.
Okay, so in the movie, things do like this as far as time. And that's the only way I can explain it. It's way trippy, but everything that's at the beginning, you see at the end, and at the end, it's really trippy. It's really like your mind will go, ow, but it's really good at the same time. So to those who saw Tenet and got the reference,
You get what I'm, yeah.
Yay, you're amazing.
Well, builders, keep building.
Hey, man.